I was a 26-year-old at SportsCenter in 1996, a big diehard Yankee fan, sitting there and watching the Braves take a 2-0 lead on the Yankees in that World Series. And then last night was their first World Series win since then. And you were calling the World Series for Fox for the very first time. And it's just amazing how, time flies and yet it goes so long. And these Braves now have a 1-0 lead, and it ended a long drought for them. And you called both games. It's kind of wild,
Yeah,
Joe.
No, I know. And this is number 24 for me, which is hard to believe. I never thought I would do one. And, that I remember that World Series coming down back to at old Yankee Stadium. The truck compound was in the same area where everybody parked, and a lot of the players and Steinbrenner parked in there. There were times where George Steinbrenner used to monitor who was in that parking lot and parking next to Yankee Stadium, and it was just surreal to see George Steinbrenner in the parking lot, going, "Who are you? Why are you parking?"
Come on, anyway, are you serious?
He was as sure as I'm standing here that happened. But yeah, and I remember that series coming down after Game 2, and it was my first time kind of on the big stage, and got through the first two games, and we had no travel day because there was a rain out before Game 1. And so we were kind of busting it to Atlanta, and I'm walking into the truck compound, and every executive and our guy who was in charge of PR is walking out like, "Oh, my God, we're dead. We're dead. It's 2-0. It's going back to Atlanta. It's going to be a 4-game sweep." And we all know how that World Series turned out. So, these things change in a heartbeat. And if you had asked me after Game 3 who was going to win the ALCS,
right,
I would have told you Boston and bet a lot on it. And then the thing just completely flipped. So that's the fun of this, and who knows where this thing is headed.
Exactly. Although it does, the Braves are on a remarkable roll, Joe. Winning 20 of 25, a run differential of 51 in that time. And then the guys who are coming through are all the trade deadline guys that nobody outside of Atlanta paid attention to, because we were looking at the bright, shiny objects that the Dodgers and Yankees pulled off 2 at a time, and these guys are just unbelievable right now with the Braves,
Yeah, no, and I think that's a good point, something I really hadn't thought about. You tend to gravitate nationally to the big, easy names. And I think what happened with Atlanta in July, right after they lost Acuna before the All-Star game, is they made the deal and they got Jock Peterson. So now the Cubs fire sale is on. And the Atlanta Braves clubhouse, those guys have said it sent a message that they're not quitting on us. And that was a team that was under 500, and I think 4 games out, but definitely under 500 at the All-Star break. And then they added 3 more guys in their outfield, and they got Duvall, who ended up hitting 38 home runs and leading the National League in RBIs. They got Eddie Rosario. That there was no big deal, and he was hurt when they picked him up, but they were willing to wait. And I don't know who's the other guy that they got, but whatever. They got 4 outfielders, and Soler, who leads off last night with a home run and becomes the first guy ever to be the first batter of a World Series and go deep. And he had a kind of a bounce back year. So I think it sends the message to a team that's, getting beat up every day that we still believe in you. And I think there's some truth in that. And they kind of took off once August hit.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.